Perfect.
Are you guys able to see my screen?
Yes.
Okay. So there are different, before I go into profile, uh, what we see basically, the overall market structure, how we look at the market structure, what type of traders are there in the market. So that is the first thing that is important to see even before we go into the profile. Profile is very much useful for kind of intraday or daily or weekly time frame traders, but when it comes to longer time frame, then it is a little bit of different view that we have to look at a market. So there are different five five time frames in the market, the different type of traders. So there are people who scalps basically, on a very short term, looking at some of the references. They look at high and low, so they just short or long based on whatever squiggly line they see, or whatever indicator they have, RSI and all that thing, which I don't use it. Then there are day traders who basically take a position, understanding based on the understanding of what is happening in the market. Again, there are some people who uses VWAP, some people uses volume profile, some people uses market profile. So based on their understanding, they actually take a trade in the morning, they sit until afternoon, or maybe by end of the day they try to take a couple of trades and call their day. Then there are some sort of short-term traders who trades on a weekly time frame. They are mostly option traders. That's why we have this 0 DT time frame trading. So they look at a little bit larger time frame, on a weekly time frame uh, things, and then they take the trades accordingly. And then there are intermediate. These are little bit larger time frame uh, traders. So they actually dominate the market on a very short term. And then there are long term investors or traders like mutual funds who basically take a position on a monthly time frame, and they hold it um, as the fundamentals support that structure. So this is a very basic type of knowledge normally people know, but just to give you a little bit knowledge. But how to find how these traders might be trading, the scalpers, I'm not really sure big scalpers, what is a scalper definition. Some people, they trade for a tick or two, but definitely they take a size of, let's say, 10 or 20. Of course there are few traders who takes 2 or 3 contracts, but there are uh, traders who takes, like, let's say, 1,000 contract, and they only take 2 ticks, because they are assured of securing that 2 ticks by trading 1,000 contracts. Now, how to look these kind of structural traders, what they do, it is very important to understand the behavior through the charting, very technical. You can see I'm not keeping any squiggly line here. So this is a very much monthly time frame that, how the trend is forming here. What happens normally, traders comes in a day and they start looking at chart on 5 minute or 1 minute, and they start hitting buy sell. I don't think that is a great idea unless you really understand the broader structure of the market. Because if you're looking at a monthly time frame, you have a fairly broader idea, how the market is evolving on a larger time frame, because that's going to show us the larger participants um interaction. Like what we are seeing right now, there has been a huge moment last week, which tells us basically the large participants are actually liquidating some of their positions, right? So as you can see, this is a monthly time frame. This was the COVID. Then we have monthly one time framing forming on a higher scale. Then we have little bit of balancing here. Then again, monthly one time framing forming. Guys, could you please mute? So here we see in the month of, what is your can you please mute your mic? Then we have monthly time frame. As you could see here, in the month of September, there was a little bit break, but market did not follow through. Then we had in October, but market did not follow. Then, this was a sort of balance that we were talking, that market is forming a 3 months balance. So market tried to break the balance, but could not. And then it came right above the October month and it started rallying. And then in the month of November, we saw the breakout. And now we have this something called balance that is forming on 5 months time frame, 1, 2, 3, 4, and 5. We're gonna see if this basically trades within this balance or not. So market is all about balance and access. Market forms the balance, then it trades then it goes on the uh, it start trading from one end, it goes to the other end, try to see what is at the other end, and if it does not follow through, then again it travels back to the other end, and then there are spikes and excess forms. And market is always a two-way auction where there is access created, and then we call that a auction has been completed. Without access, the auction has not been completed. So there are potential opportunities for the market to trade back at those levels. So a lot of times, a lot of people has been talking about market crash and all that thing, you must have heard. I think they were talking from March or maybe early last year, but there has been a sign that uh, market has given us a sign that there is not going to be any major pullback, which I'm going to tell you later on why it was that and why it could happen now. Then we have weekly time frame. Then weekly time frame, you see monthly one time, sorry, weekly one time framing forming. One time framing means not breaking the previous low. So market has been trending higher, not breaking the previous weekly low, and this low when broken, and then you see the sharp decline. That's where the intermediate term traders, they get shaken out, and that's why we see the large movement, because for them these lows are very, very important in the market. you know if you're an intraday trader is trying to take a trade on a squiggly line of 5 minute, you know but when if we are not monitoring this weekly level, if it gets broken out, that the things can go very nasty. So it is very important to understand how the level break could impact the short term or intermediate term traders. So we will have to always keep monitoring. And then we have this daily time frame forming here. Monthly uh, market has been daily time framing higher. There has been a little bit pullback, again it tried to go above. Then you see here the balance was forming, and then market created access on the top, and then it did not follow through. And then you see here this was balance broken above the balance, market could not sustain above the balance. So the potential destination trade is to the other end of the balance, which is this. And then of course market is trying to trend lower right now, and trending lower right now on all the time frames. Market is trending lower, monthly, weekly, daily. uh, on Friday, market tried to have the daily time frame change, but did not follow through. Then again the balance concept comes handy, that market failed to trade above the previous day high. The potential destination trade is here. So this is a very broader, I think a lot of people understand this, but what I mean to say that for me, when I have to trade, even if I have to take 5 points in the market on daily time frame, I will have to make sure that I go on the right side rather than going on the wrong side. That's why it is vital to look at monthly, weekly, and daily time frames. Now coming back to the market profile, this is the uh, structure that I use to trade the futures. Now this structure can be used to trade any financial instrument, because market profile is not an indicator that you use to trade. It is basically it is a data gathering tool that is giving you information. In India, people, they look at a people hand. There are some pundits who look at a people hand, and then they tell you the future. So we are not here to tell the future, but what I mean to say, by looking at the data, you can actually understand how the participants are participating, what type of participants are actually participating in the market. And if you see, there are weak participant, then you have opportunity to trade against them. If you see there are strong participants, then you have opportunity to trade in favor of them. That's why we see sometimes there are trends in the market. There are some people who try to fade the trends, but we when we look at a trend through market profile, we know what is happening, and we do not try to fade. We always try to go with the trend, and then there are rule how to trade those trend, and then there are rotational days, how to trade those rotational days, that we will discuss later on. So looking at auction process, this is how the auction happens, right? How the market behaves on an intraday session. This is a kind of profile forms, and most of the time market remains within first standard deviation, where price trades or value trades within 68% zone. So 60%, 68%, this is a scientific formula that has been developed long back by some of the scientists. I really don't have any in-depth knowledge how to figure out, but this is what I use. So 68% of the volume where it has been traded is called the value. So this is where most of the traders are accepting the uh, zone to trade. We call it value area. So this becomes the value area high, this becomes the value area low, this becomes the point of control. Point of control is nothing but it's a fairest price to conduct a business. So let's say if this is my value area high, this is my value area low. If the market is on a rotation day, if I see the profile here, volume point of control here or market point of control here, my job is to buy here, sell here, or short here, then cover my short here. So because I see that 68% of the volume has been or time has been spent in this zone. Of course, there are times when market trades within this balance. We also call it balance because it's a value which is forming. But at certain time, you will see the market is going away from this value, and that is called balance breakout or balance breakdown. So when balance breakdown happens, that means the participants are not really, agree to trade within this zone now. They may have to find a value to the lower side or to the higher side, and then we will have to see if the if there is a new profile evolving on a shorter time frame. If it is not evolving, that means most likely the price is going to bounce back to the point of control. So that is sort of a liquidation break for the people who are trying to buy at the value area low and selling at a point of control. So those guys who hold here, they sort of get liquidation break. And then people who are sitting patiently, they get a price at a discounted rate, and then they bring the price back to the point of control because this is the fairest price to conduct a business. So how the auction happens? Auction is basically we consider three components: price, time, and volume. Price is what advertise the opportunity, time regulates the opportunity, and volume is basically measure the success and failure of that regulated opportunity. So let's say if price try to do the breakout and market did not spend so much of volume here, then there is a potential that the price might retrace back to the value, and it might go to the other end of the value, and it might, if it does not hold here, it might go to the other end of the balance, whatever it is. So this is a very basic structure how we see the market profile. So we trade based on the value. We do not just trade look at a price. For us, the value is very important, and it is very important to understand how the traders are actually participating in the market. So there are some traders, we will see that they are taking a trade here, value area low, but there has been a lot of attempts to uh, to 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 go long from this place, and then we try to see this kind of area weak, and we then there is a potential for that uh, opportunity to short, to go against those weak guys, because we can see that the people are keep buying from one reference that I'm going to discuss at later stage. There is a potential opportunity for those guys to liquidate their position, and then the patient trader comes and then they bring the price back to the fair value. So we will discuss later on this. How the profile looks like. This is how the profile looks like. This is a perfect distribution profile. It is a very balanced profile. So A, B, C, D, E, these are all TPOs, time price opportunity. Each time period is first, each time period uh, represents 30 minutes of the bar. You guys can also see this bar through your candlestick, but not all the information you get through candlestick, right? And I will share my knowledge why you can't see some of the information through candlestick and why it is important to look through the TPOs, and those are very handy. So this is the value area. This is the point of control. Uh, this is the value area high, and this is the value area low. So people, you see here, people are buying here, trying to sell here. People are selling here, trying to cover here, and then in between there has been a opportunity. The market tried to trade lower, created a little bit of access, and price came back again, back to the point of control. So it is not something that theoretically, but we also see this happening in the market very often. And this is the split profile. So this is the merged profile, and this is the split profile. Market opened here, tried to trade above, could not, and then we see this the balance has been forming here, and then a lot of people try to take long here, and then there has been a breakdown. Then patient traders came and then they traded against those guys. So this is a very balanced profile. We have different type of profiles in the market. This is very handful profile when we can establish how the day is going to form, whether it is going to form rotational day or trend days. This kind of, most of the time, I would say 70% of the time market remains in a rotational day, means market goes to the value area high or value area low and try to trade a couple of times, most of the time around the point of control. 30% of the time market goes into a trend mode. Trend could be upside or trend could be downside as well. But 70% of the time market remains on a rotational basis, where people find it very difficult to trade. But I think it is very handful for the people anyone who trades based on the profile, because for them it is very useful that they buy at value area low, they sell at value area high, or they sell it at point of control. So another concept is balancing. uh, Market always move from market always trend and then form a balance, then again form a trend. Market never keep forming the trend. It has to pause somewhere, whether it is to the upside, whether it is to the downside. So it does not mean that market is going higher and it can kept going higher. Market will always form a balance, and then like what we saw here in this particular profile here, on a day time frame, market was trending higher, formed a balance, and then this was a spike created, could not sustain above, and market started trading lower. The same thing was here. The balance was forming here. When this breakout happened, market traded right to the upside. So these kind of balancing concept can be used on any time frame, whether you are trading at a 5 minute, 10 minutes, 15 minutes, 20 minutes, 30 minutes, any time frame you are using. If you understand the balancing concept, it's very, very powerful, because people get an opportunity to trade, because when market trades out of the balance, there is a larger opportunity to trade actually. So if you see here, market has been trending higher, formed a balance, then little bit of trend, but then again formed a balance, you see here, and then there was no follow through on the upside, and then market started trading to the downside. So uh, it's a very useful tool that people can use to trade any stocks or futures or currency, whatever you guys can use. Then there is something called initial balance. This James Turton does not use it. Initial balance is nothing but it's first 1 hour of the regular trading hour session. So let's
Yeah.
say market opened here. Sorry. Let's say market opened here. This is your high, this is your low, and then next half an hour B is trading within the first 30 minutes. So that tells you basically how your day is going to evolve. So when you have a profile like this, it's going to be very kind of rotational day. Of course, you expect a breakout or breakdown of this uh, balance, because this is another balance forming a bar within the bar. If market is not breaking to the upside, you expect market to trade to the lower side. But this kind of behavior can tell you how the day is going to evolve, because market has not really shown any a wider movement uh, in the first 30 minutes, first 60 minutes. So a lot of people, lot of times it happens, initial balance, market is trying to trade between first 60 minutes, and then at later afternoon session you will see either the breakout is happening or either the breakdown is happening. So it is vital information to keep that. But you can't simply short, because sometimes uh, uh, the price try to come out of balance, uh, try to find some buyers, and then again it comes back here. But some people who try to short here, they get trapped. So that's why it is important to understand the larger time frame structure when you are taking a trade in the uh, key level. Then there is something called axis or spike. You must have heard me talking about this spike thing. Um, uh, uh, that there are spikes that forms. Spikes always confirms the imbalance move. Many people, they have hard time digesting this kind of balance move. So a lot of people try to short this or try to go long. It is very, very dangerous thing, because these kind of spikes are created by the market makers or the banks to take out these stops, or trade against the short-term traders who are trading. So this is a typical profile when a lot of people, I think, uh, got burned out here. We had a market which was trading here in this value, and what happened at later stage, on when there was a news on, I think Powell was talking something, market immediately came out of balance, and it started trading higher. And for that particular day, market did not come down at all. So all the people who has been trying to short here, long here, and people who were short here, they actually got big time into trap, because this was access. So that's why people who understand the phenomena of initial balance high breakout at later stage, uh, they will never remain short, because for them, they have to cover their short and they should take a long, because they know the power of these spikes. And I often say that when this kind of imbalance move, this is also called imbalance move, when price comes out of balance, you should never try to fade this imbalance move. Why? Because people who were short here, they will start covering their shorts, and you then what do you expect? You expect price to go further higher, because they will have to buy back this market, right? So never ever try to go against the spike, whether it is to the upside or whether it is to the downside. It is always better to close the position and take the opposite position and stay with that spike. And then how we trade this kind of spike for the following day? What we say, if price opens above this spike, it is a very bullish. And if it opens above the spike base, it is still a very positive for the market. But if following day price start trading lower, below the base of the spike, it is a complete rejection of these higher prices, and then market will start trading lower. What does that mean? That means people who try to go long in this spike, right? So if next day market is trading lower, what is going to happen? All these people who were long here and have not closed their position, for them this will be a painful process, right? So they will get into, liquidation process, and market will start trading lower. But if price is, you look at here, close was at 52.25 and market opened at 58.25, right above the previous day high. So shorting this kind of move, if you're coming with the mindset, oh, yesterday the price was very high, market was trading here in this small zone, and market, let's short this market. You look at the following day as well, the market did not come lower at all. It did not come. Market actually stayed above and faded the entire spike move to the downside. So it's very important how we have to consider when we are trading the spike based on the spike. This is a typical example. So this is on the daily time frame session that we see spike, and then we are looking here on the monthly time frame, the spike that has formed in the month of November. This is how we are seeing the monthly candle. So this is a spike. So now if you look here, this is October month, this is November month, this is December month that we are seeing currently. So right now, if you see, there has been a balance forming of 4 months. If price accept trading below the 44557, then the potential destination based on the balance guideline becomes for the price to trade back at least minimum 4293. Of course, the other end of the balance is somewhere here, but I'm considering the value which is around at this place. But if price rejects to trade within this balance, which is 4557, and market participant comes and then they start trading higher, then this will be, then this is something that, price does not have any uh, uh, interest to trade lower and may want to go to the higher. So the balance guidelines still apply here. So this level becomes very important for us. 4610 or 4557.
I'll find the gold later, but you'll get your freedom anyway. I know it.
I hope you understand this balance rule.
All you have to do.
So the same thing goes if the spike is created to the downside, the same thing goes, the same rule is applied for the downside as well. If market is opening right below the spike bottom, then it is bearish. You can't really come simply and then start trading, to the upper side. You will have to give 30 minutes for market to adjust. So always, the market profile trader, if they see market is coming out of balance, they will always try to take a trade because they know that, this is the largest opportunity that trader can have. But some trader, if they see the market is trying to come inside the balance, then they would like to give 30 to 60 minutes time frame for the market to provide us the structure. If let's say price is trading much lower or much higher, I would really want market to show me the hands, what this market really want to do, where the value is forming, because end of the day, I really don't want to go against the value or the point of control, because these are the two very important information that I have. So if I don't understand something, then I wait for 30 to 60 minutes for market to form a structure and then give me the information. There has been certain attempt, I think, then when market uh, uh, try to cap up somewhere here. For me, it was very difficult to adjust because the gap was very wider. So I had to wait literally because I was bearish based on the market trend was forming. But when market opened and start trading above the overnight high and start forming the value at a higher side, so that gave me a confirmation that the market has no interest now to come down, because the gap was higher and the market was forming the value to the higher side. So long liquidation break. So based on the market profile definition, this is something that we call it old business is liquidating some of their position because market has overstretched or prolonged, and that's what we are seeing right now. So market is overstretched and the large participants have started liquidating their position, And how we know that large participants are actually liquidating their position? Because the amount of volume that has been going through in the last 2 weeks, it has been enormous compared to what we have seen in the past. It has been very large volume. And of course you must have seen the wider move happening, which has never happened in the past for last so many months. So this shows that the old business means the people who have bought this, yes, maybe, sorry, the stocks, whoever bought it at March low, or maybe beginning of this year, those kind of people, they are trying to liquidate their position, and then they will have to adjust their position accordingly in the market. So on a daily time frame, how this long liquidation looks like, this is the example that we will show you. We have two different type of profiles that forms in the three different type of profiles which forms in the market: the P shape, the D shape, and the B shape. So what this represents: the P shape represents the bearish nature, and distribution means it's very balanced. And the B shape, it confirms us the longs are participating in the market. It's sort of bullish, right? So here we see the P forming, which is like, the value is forming here. There is a long tail, but it is P in nature. So we call it that a lot of shorts are piled up here. I think this was on Thursday. Market was trending higher, and a lot of shorts were, taking the position. And then we could see through the cumulative volume data, a lot of people were short in the market, and this was kind of a P shape. And then market formed a balance here. On Friday, I thought that, if markets start trading right above this level, there could be a firecracker effect. What is that firecracker effect? Means a lot of shorts are inside this. If price start trading above this balance zone, above this value, this could really, become a very aggressive move, or a balanced move to the upside. So I had little bit a hard time in the opening, because I was little bit of bullish based on the nature of the market open. Because but again, I quickly understood that, the price has retraced back below the previous day high. So I waited, and then I had a level which was 4565. I will discuss with you guys later on the importance of those kind of levels, that if market breaks that level, that means market is going to go quite to the downside. So this is the sort of, the P shape. Market failed to trade right above this high, then the potential destination trade becomes the other end of the balance, which is this low, 4506. Yeah. So coming back to the same profile, I want to share uh, what was the level that I was talking here. Uh, there is something called afternoon pullback. Sandeep always talk about rug pull. I think it happens which happens sometimes in the afternoon session. It is very important information that, have to be carried forward. So what happened? You see, market opened, tried to trend higher, broke the initial balance high, right, late afternoon, and started trading higher. And then at some point, market tried to come inside the initial balance high. So I marked this level as a pullback low. So for me, this is like a important information. Means the aggressive shorts were trying to bring the market down, but they could not have followed through. So market again tried to go above, right? So and
we always compared to a Blitzen key side concerning our meditation status. So here,
and then we have this, the M period, which opened here, had a follow, came down, retested this level again, and went. Then again the short-term traders bought exactly at this low, and the price started trading higher, and price closed above. So this was a very weak level for us to understand. If price breaks this level, the market will be very bearish. And you see here 4565 level. This was the B level where market attempted downside move, and then it went all the way to 4500. So there is no hindsight here. Couple of things that I would like to share with you guys. How important is for people like us to have the trading plan. So I always prepare my trading plan when I do intraday trading. So this is what I mentioned here, right? Overnight inventory is very well balanced. Market is slightly bullish due to the NFP news that came. So I mentioned that likely to open above previous day high spike. So gap rule applies. Now I will share the gap rule as well with you guys. If price start trading above previous day high and overnight high, I will be targeting 4628. Of course, price opened above but could not sustain above the previous day high. So something that did not happen, something that should happen did not happen, is the most important information that we have to carry forward. It is very, very important. Something that supposed to happen did not happen is very important information. Then I said if price trade below previous day high, we'll see where price find the support. So there were possible locations like settlement price that I'm going to talk to you guys. So there are possibility that short-term traders, there could be a scalp opportunity to take a trade at those locations. But if 4565 breaks, it could be bearish, and that was my line in sand that that I need to hold. So then it is very clear. So people who try to so this was the shorts trying to bring the market down. The next day there was a huge follow through on Friday, right? So always keep a mind of this afternoon pullback level. We call it afternoon pullback, rally high, or rally high afternoon pullback low. So this was pullback low on a rally high. So market was rallying high, then market had a pullback. So next day when I come, I need to keep a track of this level, how the market is trying to react to this level. Now the gap rule. What is the gap? We consider the gap not from the settlement. A lot of people consider from settlement. For us, the gap is this one, the high of the day or low of the day. If price is trading right above the gap, then we expect market to be a little bit bullish. If market fills the gap, try to come immediately after filling the gap, try to start trading higher. So definitely there is a long opportunity with a very tight stop loss. But if price quickly fill the gap, that means the potential destination for that market to go is quite lower. And this is what we mentioned here. So it confirms a gap signifies a market that is out of balance and represents a large opportunity. The same thing goes to the downside as well. Gap high or gap low. Poor high or unsecured highs, lows. These are called unfinished business. That means market has not really finished the business. So what is the finished business in market profile logic? There has to be axis 3 tick or above. These are the TPOs. So we say that market has to create an axis 3 ticks or more to complete the auction. So auction has not been ended. So we call it poor high. Now we are looking at 4740 as poor high, but because this setting of the chart is 3 ticks, so 2 ticks, so I can't really call it poor high. It on a 1 tick chart, it has a good axis. But to show you guys how the poor high looks like, because there is no axis here. So it's sort of double top that people see, means the auction has not been ended. So there is a potential for market to revisit this level again. And how the poor low forms. poor low forms, there are 2 or 3 TPOs. If they are exactly at same level and there is no access, that is called poor lows. When that happened, when the poor highs are created and when the poor lows are created, when market find exhaustion, buying, complete exhaustion on the buying side, that time this kind of poor high formation we will see. And the same thing happens when we see the selling exhaustion, then we will see the poor lows are forming. Means at those levels buyers has no interest to buy, and at these levels sellers has no interest to sell at below these levels. So a lot of people try to get trap here. Because if you look, market was, I think in the month of October, was selling lower, and then at one point market formed a poor low and then started going higher, because selling has been so high at one point of time it got exhausted, right? So the participants were very less, and this kind of low forming means the weak buyers coming in the market and they can lift the market, means there is not strong selling is happening, so the weak hand buyers, they can take the market up. On a trend day, when poor high is forming, means market is trending higher and poor high is forming, it is very dangerous to fade the poor high, because most likely that day the poor high is going to be taken out. Because why I'm talking about that, because a lot of short-term traders, they look at two candlesticks, they say, oh, it's forming a double top, so let's short it. But they forget that it's a trend day, so they should never ever fade the trend day. Fading a trend day is one of the worst thing that trader can do. It is always better to be with the trend. With the trend means buying all the pullbacks and stay with the rallies. Sell at rallies. That's how the trend is, and vice versa goes to the downside. But I hardly see the trend forms to the downside. Mostly it forms to the upside. But recently it has been trying to form some sort of trend on the downside as well. Settlement, this is very important level for some of the fast traders. We see market close, but right market close is based on the CME settle price. So this information can be taken from the CME website. Market often try to come back to this level, and the fast trader always take a trade at this level, and they make a opportunity, but those type of trades are very fast trades. Means if market is trading towards settlement, some people will come and try to front run as a buyer, and they will try to sell it after a couple of points. The same thing goes to the downside as well. And then there is something called halfback. Let's say if market came in immediately out of balance from nowhere. In the opening we came and market came out of balance, and market is trending higher. Then what a lot of people do who are patient trader, they wait for some time for a market to pull back at 50% the length of that structure, and as soon as the price retraces back to that 50%, and then they take the position. So that is called the halfback. Again, people have to always be mindful. Do not take the trade right exactly at the halfback. It has to be couple of ticks down, or it could be up as well, because some front runners, they can buy the market right ahead of you and do not give you the opportunity to buy. Or some traders, they can shake out the people who are trying to buy at halfback, and then again they can make the rally. So this is a very important information. Halfback. So we discussed about afternoon pullback, low, halfback. Traders must keep all the reference on their charts, high, low, daily, weekly, monthly, to understand how the market is trying to behave on all those time frames. Globex all-time high. So what is that means? That means there many times market was forming all-time high on a overnight session. And before that, market was keep calling the crash and crash. So what happens whenever the all-time high is built in the overnight session, the market, you do not expect market to has any major correction. So for any major correction, the Globex all-time high shouldn't be there. So that is very important information. Like I met with a lot of traders who were calling crash, and then I said no, there is poor high is there. Sorry, all-time high is there that has to be taken out before any major correction that has to happen in the market. So it's a small information but very powerful information. Single prints. So these single prints are the same as what we saw. Single prints means the market has not traded again at that particular level. Like these are one print, means market has not traded at this level from here to here. But we don't call this kind of things as single prints. For us, the single print is, you see here, market was trading here, formed a single prints, means the breakout happened. These are very important information because these are imbalance move. That means there has not been volume has not been traded in these zones. And what market makers does, when market goes to the extreme to the higher side, they bring the market down and they target these kind of single print levels. And you will often see the price is bouncing back from these single prints. Why this happened? Because there are some traders who are trapped as short. They want to exit from their position. They could be short term, they could be medium term. But if they believe that, let's say if I shorted here and market has gone extreme high, and if I see market is pulling back lower, and I still see that market has potential to go higher, for me it is always better to exit at break even and try to build another position in the market rather than being stuck here as a short. So you will often see the market trading to these single print levels when market is doing a wider move. So it's mostly used by the swing traders, and they target these single prints to cover because they know that market will be traded. For intraday traders, you can keep a track of that. Sometimes you can fade the single prints, sometimes you can trade in the single prints. But we don't call this kind of single prints as single prints. This has to be between the profile. Overnight inventory. Overnight inventory is something that action happens outside the regular trading hour. Regular trading hour timing is from 9:30 to 4 p.m. Any action happen after 4 p.m. is not considered as regular trading hour. That falls under overnight action or Globex action. Now what happens in the regular trading hour, large participants are participating. In the overnight time, mostly the algos or short-term traders are participating. And the next day when you come in the market, let's say you're seeing market is trading, oh, market is very bullish, market is green. And then all of a sudden you will see market is trying to take opposite, market is trying to go to the other side. This happens for the inventory adjustment. If market has gone too long in the overnight session, the intraday trader will come, the day time frame trader comes, the large trader comes, and they will balance that overnight inventory. Sometimes it happens that some people start selling based on seeing that action, but it could be very, very dangerous, because that means that inventory is just being adjusted, not necessary that the people are selling. Because if you start selling based on the opening action, it can be very brutal, because inventory gets adjusted very fast and then it pulls back and it goes in the direction it wants to go. So it just shake out the weak hands, actually, people who has been trading in the overnight session. short covering rally. So this is like a lot of people who are short in the market, um, like we saw on Friday. um, let's say people who has been short here on the upper side, they will have to cover the short by end of the day at least, right? And uh, that's very important for us to know that there has been a very strong tail to the upside, and the B profile is forming here, and a B profile is forming here. Where is the point of control? 4521 is the point of control. Value is forming here. This was the value forming here. So a lot of people were still thinking that market is going to trend lower, maybe 4480 or 44 something, but you don't see the point of control. Where is the point of control? Where is the value area high? So what happens? End of the day, I was 110% sure that market is going to retrace back. So I was keep buying all the dips below 4515, assuming that price is going to retrace back to 21 or to the initial balance low. That was the idea, and that is what exactly happened. So I was keep buying here, keep selling back to the point of control all the time, and you have seen that. So you never want to short in the hole. Short in the hole means a lot of people, they do not get an opportunity to sell here, and then market is still trending lower, and then market is so volatile, and people think market is going to go down, and they are selling somewhere here in the down, and then all of a sudden you see the spike forming to the upper side, and then all the people who were shorting in the hole, they have a brutal killing. Uh, so you never want to short at later date unless you understand the key level. There is any key level which is breaching, or the volume is building higher to the downside. If volume is not building, that means the participants have no interest to go further lower. Then you expect, most of the market profile trader knows that that shorting late at the day is a very bad idea unless there is a breach of key level. Of course, there are certain things can happen. Price is still trading lower. Let's say if weekly low break happened, then you can't be long here, because that's an important information as well. Because breaching of that level means the swing traders are being shaken out of the market. So you will have to go with them if that thing happens. So this is called short in the hole. So this is what is the profile. So sell was happening on Friday, and the value was forming here. You see the point of control was forming here, and the J period participant and K period participant started trading lower. And then this, you see here, L period. There has been a good tail here. So these were the weak buyers who were trying to buy here on the previous day low. They were taken out, and then market, did a short covering rally. That's what I mentioned, I think, in the Discord group. If anyone is trying to short in this zone, if you guys want to have a good weekend, better you don't short, because market has potential to retrace back at least to the point of control, or to the initial balance, or to the value area high. What is diffusion model? So these are different type of driving forces in the market based on the behavior of participants, right? So there are people who are innovators, who find who spend time in understanding the market, planning the market, and they takes the trade based on the certain information, the plan that they have. So they are the innovator driving the market. So like the sell happened on Friday, the price started trading lower to the previous day high. People who shorted immediately there, they were the sort of innovator. And then the early adopter, when the initial, when when this breach happened of 4565 level that I mentioned, when that happened, that means the early adopters have actually started following these innovators, and then early majority. So A period was lowering, B period was lowering, and then other periods, other participants also started following all those guys. So early majority, now these are the guys coming into late into the party. People who are coming here, they are late. And laggards means they could not, they're just sitting whole day thinking that, what is happening in the market. So they will come and they will short here. And then, this is what happens. So if you have a well plan before the trading, you start the trading, um, you always, either you try to be innovator or try to be early adapters. Don't try to fall into these two categories, late majority or laggards. So if you can't be innovator, at least try to be um, uh, into these two categories. It's very important, because for being innovator means you really need to be very sharp, and you need to have a plan. So you have to have a plan every single day. So what that plan means, um, so yeah, so I plan, I when I come into the day, I have come for my week, I have a plan, I have a chart, I read my chart, I have all the levels plot, then I have these kind of things, I prepare my plan. Trend, all trends are down, because for me, understanding the trend is very, very important. I want to be very sure. If I want to trade against the trend, uh, then if trend is not falling through, then I have to make sure that I do not caught into a wrong level with my trade. So for the next week, as I mentioned, made all time frames trend to the downside, wide range movement with huge selling and short term covering on Thursday. And then Friday was look above and fail on opening to previous day high, pushed price to the other end of the balance lower, and filled the settlement price, liquidating all long position. At close, profile was a B shape representing buyers initiated buying with 17K positive net buying, however close below November low. So I'm keeping this in mind, that there has been a B shape formation that tells me that buyer has shown the participation. Now, how I'm seeing the 17K positive delta, I use a different setup for that. I use order flow, where I can see how the buying and selling is happening. That is in addition to this market profile, I use that kind of, I use that order flow tool for tell me even much more detailed information, what sort of buying and selling orders are coming through. So in Friday, uh, at later stage, there has been a lot of buying order falling through and lot of less sell orders. That was another confirmation that seller has no interest to sell further lower. And now what we have to see coming Monday, whether price start trading above 4557, or if it start trading 4557, what happens? You see here, a lot of people were trying to sell whole day on this particular day. So these people must be still holding their sell order, and these are the early adopters. These are little bit strong sellers. So if price start trading above this level, you expect a short squeeze. But if price comes back again here, start trending lower, you expect sellers to start defending their position and they start selling further. So it is very important for us to have all the levels marked in the chart and understand the behavior of your participants, because end of the day, it's not about selling high or buying low. This is not how does it matter. It is about, you have the market profile structure, you understand the behavior of your the participants, and based on that behavior you try to take a trade. If prices start trading above this high, I do not want to keep shorting, because I know that most of the people has been short here whole day long on Friday, and there has been a buying by strong participants, and then price will start trading higher. Now it might happen that in the overnight session market might trade lower, people might accumulate more position, and then if that happens, it will form even further B. And then on Monday opening, market might retrace to the lower side to check if things are okay. If all okay, then it will try to go above. If the low of Friday breaks, it means more selling is expected to happen. And that will be probably even more brutal because all the longs has been buying from the low, right? Because it's a B shape. So a lot of people has been buying here. What they will have to do? They will have to liquidate their position. So when they will liquidate their position, if price start trading below the Friday low, they will start liquidating their position. So this is how we have to form a plan every single day. Try to understand how the market participants are coming into the market. Are you going to trade against the strong hands or weak hands? How we can figure out the participants could be weak hand or strong hands. People who buy or sell at exact level, those participants shows that they are the sort of weak character. Means the smart money never ever sell or buy exactly at lows or highs. They just start their day from anywhere, like on Friday they did not waited, they just started selling once the price started trading lower. And then they do not wait for any information. But we as an intraday trader, we will be looking at, oh, this is initial balance low, or maybe this is value area low, let's buy here, it will go to the point of control. um, uh, if you focus so much on the levels, you will miss the bigger opportunity for taking a trade. If I understand on Friday my value is forming here, and there is the point of control is quite widen, it's a widened point of control. So means the fairest price to conduct business here. If I buy here, not a problem. Somebody asked me, are you using any stop loss? No, I was not using stop loss, because I know the fairest price to conduct business was here. And this is a wider time price opportunity here, TPO. So wider TPO could be like, what does TPO means? You see here, TPO means 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. So 7 or 8 TPOs where market has, it means it has a good, that point of control holds a good, a strong magnet. It acts as a strong magnet. So you can buy low, you can sell high, but these are just the probabilities, right? Nothing should be taken as guaranteed. These are just probabilities, so you will have to ensure that you manage your risk. You have to know where you have to exit and where you have to book a loss, or where you have to book a profit. I mean, for me, if I take long here or long here, how does it matter? End of the day, I know that price will trace back to the point of control, so it does not really matter. I can take position anywhere. I might take a long here and price start trading a little bit lower to shake me out, and then price start trading above. Then what is the point? So now you look at here, people F period traded here, G. This is very weak level. It means weak buyers are buying here. Very weak buyers are buying here. So the H period came, they took them out, and then I period, they rallied high. So it's very important how you see the participants in the market through the market profile structure. I hope these things are clear. It's a very broader view of what I shared. Of course, there are a little bit of more detail to that, but if anybody has any question. I have a friend here, Ronald. He's also a very good market profile guy. I mean, Ronald, if you want to pitch out anything. important information that you could share with the participants? I think he's mute.
Hey, Singh. Hey, thank you for the time, guys. Hey, I think that you covered everything. I mean, very well. That was a very well explanation, and I hope that a lot of the guys take something from your presentation. Very good work.
Thank you.
It does takes a lot of practice, though, to become
Yes, yeah,
very,
absolutely
very
right.
good at reading the profile, because most of the traders are so focused on short-term charts. So reading a profile is a little bit hard, but the more you do it, the better you become. So
Absolutely right. Absolutely. Yeah, it takes time, Yeah, nothing is nothing is 100%. But yeah, if you understand profile, at least gives us a better view to look at a market structure, right? So
yeah, I think it's the big picture. For me,
yeah,
is the daily big picture of what could happen, on the next couple of 30 minutes or an hour. So you still can use your setups or your strategy, but this will help you to have a better picture of what is coming up. So
yeah. One thing is there, that market profile people, if you go to James Starton to learn market profile, he's not gonna tell you where to buy, where to sell, because he tells you how to read the market, how to understand the market, where you have to buy, where you have to sell. You have to build your own strategy based on the appetite, based on the risk appetite, right? Some people may have a risk appetite of only taking 1 point risk or 2 point risk. Some people may have, they don't even care 20 points, 30 points market go against them, because if they know that they expect market to trade back, they may average down their position, they may scale in, scale out, different type of strategies, different type of trader uses. I mean, a guy can only trade maybe take 4 tick loss, and for him taking 2 points is enough for the day. But for some people, they want to capture more than 10 handles a day, so they may risk 5 points in the market. Sometimes if market goes against them, if they understand the broader profile, broader structure of the market, they may scale in, they may average down their position, because if they still expect that the profile has not been deteriorated at looking at a broader time frame, so there is nothing that they will have to worry. But if somebody is buying on a squiggly line of 5 minute, then price drops below that line, oh, guy will get panic. Oh man, this, let me take another entry. By the time price comes back again on the squiggly line, and then, oh, this was my stop loss hunt. It was not a stop loss hunt. This is how price goes in a random in a nature. So on a 5 minute, nobody hunts your stop loss.
Hey Manjeet, I have a question if that's okay to ask.
Yes, sir.
So I remember you had posted a similar screenshot in the WhatsApp group about the short covering that happened on this past Friday in the last 15-20 minutes before the market closed, and it was very volatile and wild.
Yeah.
I counted like 150 points of short covering in just 12 minutes.
Mm-hmm.
And I think you had posted like a shot with the order flow, and you said that this is it was clear that the big guys are buying very heavily into the close, and you saw something based on your order flow and profile that it is happening.
Yeah, I think I was keep saying about this. I think Raghav shorted in the hole. So See, this is what I mentioned. I think it was, I don't know what time, last 30 minutes. Be careful if anyone try to short scalp in this last 30 minutes, if you want to have a peaceful weekend. So, because I was very sure that there is going to be huge short covering. And why I was saying, I uses order flow footprint data. You look at this, all this, there has been a buyer sitting all whole day. This positive delta I was seeing here. Look at 5.8K, 2.4K. Even initially in the when the drop happened, people tried to buy, and based on this number, the liquidation should have been very hard to the downside, but still could not follow through. Looks like people still average their position, and they're holding. So at the close, there was 18K positive delta. So let's see if these buyers they can maintain, because the sell volume, you look at here, sell volume, I was seeing here, look at, these are all in hundreds, and the buying was closing at thousands. So that was giving me a strong confirmation that, all these people who are shorting here, they will be squeezed actually by end of the day. Now, again, I'm taking a risk based on that, because this is what I've been seeing for many, since my trading days. Sometimes it does not work, but when it does not work, we will have to book a loss. There is nothing called holy grail. This all comes down to the experience that that what you see in the market.
Is this NinjaTrader?
Oh yes, NinjaTrader. Yeah, but I use PIFFlow as one of the indicator.
What is the name? PIFFlow?
PIFFlow, yeah. This is very handy when I look at a 4-hour time frame. There has been similar situation when price was trading around 4227 and market was trying to go lower, and that time I think I saw around 26,000 positive delta, and when that delta 26,000 positive delta was formed, very similar move. By end of the day, the market bounced very hard to the upside, closed somewhere in the middle session, and then overnight session was a little bit down, and the following day market made a very, very strong rally for another 100 points actually. So
Hey, Sin, to your point on the delta, guys, I usually notice that when delta is above or below 10,000 and you have like a V or a P shape, then usually be going to be a good rally up or big drop. So
here you
keep
go.
that
So
in mind.
we have the same observation then.
Yeah, and I actually keep track of the 10,000 delta. If I ever see 10,000 and up, I start thinking to go to the other side of whatever delta is showing.
True. If P is formed, then yeah, you try to go the other side, and then if B is formed, you go the other side. So yeah.
Right. So when you see a B forming, you want to
Yeah.
see negative 10,000 delta. If you see a P forming, you want to see positive 10,000. And that's usually a signal that a lot of traders are trapped. So.
Okay, so that's it from my side. If anybody has any question, nothing, then I will just say thank you very much.
Yeah, Manjit, for first time traders, I mean the beginners, whoever doing futures trading, like what kind of trades are more safer kind of thing? Is it IB breakout trades, something like that? I mean, do you recommend anything? Only concentrate on those trades until you get fully experienced kind of thing? What kind of trades are important to take?
Yeah, see, the most important thing is you got to see where the point of control is forming. Larger the TPOs is forming, let's say if market is on a rotation day, right, and trading between initial balance low and initial balance high, and you have a point of control which is forming at the mid, and you have not taken any trade, and you're still late, you can still, if the initial balance high breakout happened, you can take a long trade by end of the day, and if price comes back initial balance inside, comes back initial balance high, then you have to close your trade. So so you have to understand how the structure is forming. The best would be to buy near value area low, sell it at point of control, value area high. These are the best thing that we do. Or you sell it at value area high and right above value area high and cover your short at point of control.
Okay, Manjit, thanks. And also you often says that the tapper is not good, something like that. Tapper is not good means it's trying to figure it, I mean, they are trying
The
to make the
taper
tapper
means
good something.
the taper means the volume, the auction process has not been properly happened either to the upside or either to the downside. So when the right taper is forming, that means there is a nice two-way auction is happening. If the taper is bad, means only one way the vibrant move has happened. So you expect price to trade back again at those levels.
Okay,
Okay.
okay. Often you says excess is there, excess is there, like excess and poor high or poor low, like excess got to do something with these terms, Manjit?
Yeah, access is something that when you are trading, let's say you are trading here. Where is that? See, when you're trading here, you see here JK does not have a good access, right? It's only two ticks, I believe, two ticks. So what do you need to have a little bit of good access to the downside as a buying tail, So here the access it's a very bad access. That means weak hand traders are buying at exact level, and somebody's shorting here, somebody is buying exactly at here. So then the another smart trader came, they took their stops out, and then they made the rally back to the upside. So if you understand there is a good access to the downside, right? Good access already to the downside, price is trading within the value, you can actually expect price to come back to the upper side.
Hey, I think that on Friday we have gray X's at the top, so that's a good example.
Yeah,
The top is a nice tail that tells you there's a lot of
Yeah, you're right.
Yeah, Manjit, that access and poor
Yeah,
access
see,
and poor low, how do we differentiate?
See, this is the access. This is a very strong tail to the upper side. This is very strong access. That means a very strong seller has been participating in the market.
Okay, thanks.
Poor high means exact reference. Oh, sorry, exact high and exact low. That is called poor. Means structure is not very well formed. You need a good access to the downside to complete the auction, and good access to the high side to complete the auction. Market is always a two-way auction process. Market doesn't go straight up, doesn't go straight down. It always have two-way auction. Of course, when market goes up, it goes like, it keep going high, high, high. But when it comes down, it only takes few days to take out all those long liquidation. So, but does not mean that market only goes in one direction.
Okay, I mean, how to identify it is excess or poor high? I mean, is there a way to differentiate?
Anything above 3 ticks is good access.
Okay.
And if any TPOs 2 tick or below, that means does not have a good access. It's called poor.
Okay. Okay, thanks.
So the more TPOs you have, the better. I mean, you can have 5 TPOs on top, but if you have 20 at the bottom, I mean, then you gotta say, well, the top is good, but it's not great. The bottom is good because it has 20 TPOs. I guess that's the way I look at it.
Okay, guys.
Manjit, this is Vishal here. Just only one silly question. When you say about the afternoon pullback, so which period you consider onward, like JK or something, when the price either
Yeah, see,
moving
when
or
when
up or
market is
down?
when market is keep trending for that particular day,
Mhm.
when market is keep trending higher, and in the afternoon session around 1 p.m. or 2 p.m., if I'm not wrong, Ronald, I think around that time you see this pullback happening. I think it happens either JKL, any of yeah, any of these period can have the pullback JKL. So what happens based on the afternoon pullback definition? I'm not saying anything. Read the definition. Applicable to trend days, and it is a late afternoon price migration against the prevailing trend. During a trend day, there is a usually one afternoon inventory adjustment. The pullback high or the low is extreme of this inventory adjustment. On the following day, the pullback high or low is used to determine if there has been any meaningful change relative to the previous day. If the pullback high or low is not violated, there has been no meaningful change in the opposite direction of the prior trend, right? So the market has been trending prior day, there has been afternoon pullback, and that's why I had mentioned trading below this level will be bearish. So this is a definition, textbook definition.
So it's a nuance which can play the role in the next coming day as a reference.
Following day, definition very clearly says on the following day, yes, we have to keep mark this level. I keep mark this important level, not every time, but when I see a structure, because I do know that on Thursday there was a short, we all know that there was a short covering on Thursday, right? Because cumulative volume delta was too negative, and then you expect market to, you know, if it follow through, because these are the guys who want to take the market down, but at the later stage they again got pulled back. So if they are still in the game, right? If they are still in the game, if the larger money participated with them, the more participant is going to. So this confirms the change in the direction of this trend. So this will be the new direction, right? So that's why 4565 was the line in sand. If price comes back here, try to trade a little bit lower and again bounces back, that means you know, there has not been any relative change. But then you need to see price start going back above the previous day high. If it does not go, that means market can find a resistance and might still go down. So it's a very important information. Jim talks quite a lot about this afternoon pullback. It comes handy for the next day. So if you have not marked on your chart, if it is not part of your plan, you will not understand what is happening.
Thank you. One more thing, if sometime in future, maybe some little bit concept about the cumulative delta, what is the significance and how we can use in terms of defining the entries, or if we, in accumulation with the market profile. If
Yes.
not today, maybe maybe in the future.
Yeah, I can explain that here. Okay, guys. I think it's too long right now.
Thank you. Thank you.
Thank you, everyone.
Thank you, Sim. Very
Yeah,
good work, man.
thank you, Manjit.
See you guys on Monday.
See you.